but it's the man on form on the line now, and Crediton's Den Conybeare will be challenging hard for the class win in his well-known Japanese import Nissan GTIR. He smokes off the line, and the time to beat 42.83 from start. Down the dip into Prospect, and it's another superb committed run from Conybeare. Up the hill now, into the hairpin. The rapid GTIR Nissan on the brakes now for the right-hander. And it's the win for Den Conybeare from John Start by over a second. It's the well-known British Racing Green MG Midget of Steve Luscombe that leads off the first of the modified production runners. The former school teacher is a regular competitor in sprints, hill climbs and in circuit racing with this much campaign machine, and a 46-second run will reward him with a top 5 placing in this well-supported class. Similar A-Series power, different chassis as Vince Stone gets away in the Austin Mini. Waits for the green light, drops the clutch away up over the top of Hope Rise. Listen to the distinctive note of the straight cut gearbox as the Mini comes over the brow into Prospect to take the class lead. There are no less than 5 Hillman powered Davrians in this class, all battling with each other. Very close competition as always, and this is Mark Ibbetson's Mark 5. Mark, a regular competitor in the Hill Climb and Sprint Association Speed Championship. Back to the Minis again, and it's Alan Peskett now into Dodd's hairpin. Gets the power down early, but gets the car a little bit out of shape on the exit as limited slip diff takes over. Now it's Davians again, and Graham Cashmore leaves the line. Ken Banks is one of the longest standing Davian competitors in the sport, and a former Brighton Speed Trials record holder with his Mark 7. Gordon Isles now with his Mini. His second run's quicker, but he just loses 5th place to Luscombe's Midget. Out of the hairpin now, it's Philip Eaton's Mini. Steve Alcock could be a dark horse for this class in his rapid Davrian. At the moment it's still Vince Stone that leads with the Mini, but it's a determined run from Alcock. Down into Prospect now with the Davrian, and it's quick enough to lead the way in the class. This is only the 3rd outing for Steve Harris's latest Arden 8-port headed Mini, but the BJ Auto Brits proprietor is rapidly developing the car. One of the most experienced competitors in the class, if not at the entire meeting, former circuit racer Harris is really pushing hard in his latest creation. Alcock's 44.09 is the time to beat, and it looks on as Harris comes down into Prospect Bend before charging up the hill towards the hairpin. Really quick into the right-hander. Harris comes near to the end of the run. Heads for the finish line, and it's 43.90. He takes the win from Alcock by just 0.2 of a second. Another practice run now, this time for Phil Linnington. Unfortunately, he broke the Astra's gearbox on Saturday morning. But after a trip back to Chard to fit a replacement overnight, it all came good on the Sunday, with son Stuart taking the class win in the car. The Alpine A110 was the mainstay of Renault's international rallying hopes back in the early 70s. There are several examples on the hills these days. This is Peter Ellen's version. Mark II Cortinas go back even further, of course, to the 1960s. Paul and Jonathan Wees campaigned their version extensively, particularly in the Paul Massey Classic Challenge classes in the Midland Hills. Jeff Newman is going well in the Astra, just losing second in class after a seesaw battle with Derek Wetton's Mark II Escort. But now let's have a look at Norman Dunford's Mark II Escort as he talks to Lucy Carter.
Hi Norman, so you've got this 1979 Escort that I hear you've built from scratch.
That's right, yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's basically all stripped right down to bare metal and all the strengthening plates put in, as you can see here, the strut braces, and then all repainted again. And then the engine was rebuilt completely from the bottom up with a HD racing cam in it, all polished ports, bigger valves, and then it runs through a straight cut racing gearbox with a limited slip lift back axle.
Is that something you've done specifically for the hill climb?
Yeah. It's just, it'd be no good for nothing else, but it's just only good for hill climbs because it revs quite high.
Right, okay. So you've had a year out on your back this year. How are you getting on?
Not too bad, not too bad.
You doing alright?
Yeah, keeping out of trouble. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Here's Norman in action with the Mark II. He's pushing hard into the hairpin, but just misses a top 6 placing. Pipped by Jonathan Wees in the Cortina. David Owen's Mark I Escort is next to the line. It's a good start from Dave, but a missed gear could cost him those vital fractions as he tries to make up time on 4th place man Graham Rudge. So it's all down to Carl Stevens in the immaculate Mark II Escort, the final runner in the class. Carl has his sights on Derek Wetton's lead, so the time to beat is 42.90. Let's watch the run. And it's a tremendous run from Stevens as he powers out of Prospect. In fact, it looks almost too easy for the regular front runner just down the road at Gerston Downhill Climb. He's already into the hairpin now with the Mark II. Lifts an inside rear wheel on the apex, powers towards the line. And it's a clear win by almost 2 seconds. Mike Knappman's 4.7 litre flathead Allard Special is an unusual car to open the big modified production class. And something of a handful too in the confines of Longleat Hill Climb. Jason Easton's 4x4 Sierra is a bit more conventional. But with Kevin Salisbury's Rapid Sierra Cosworth due along in a few moments' time, Easton knows he's going to have to find that little bit extra. He's got aspirations on the class lead. Richard Hilliard's Turbo Dynamics Renault 21 enjoys regular battles in the southwest with Nick Forster's reliant Scimitar GTI up in a couple of moments. And sure enough, the Renault takes the lead at this stage. Will it last though? Here's Forster now in the 3 litre V6 Reliant. Chasing Hilliard hard, he just pips the Renault to take the lead by a 10th. But it could be all changed now as ASWMC Sprint and Hill Climb Championship sponsor Mike Potter of Bridge Tyres slides through Prospect in the Subaru WRX. He may have lost a fraction of a second there with that slide, but at 40.80 it's still a clear class lead from Nick Forster. But it's the experienced Kevin Salisbury who's tipped to take the class in his rapid Sierra Cosworth Turbo. Up over the top of Hope Rise, Salisbury really pressing on in the Cossies. Down into the dip for Prospect, but a little bit too much right foot, gets it out of shape, slides onto the grass. Well, no damage done, happily, but the pressure's on Salisbury for the afternoon. He has to do it all on his second run. He responds well, snatching the win from Potter by just 0.08 of a second. Class E9 on Saturday is the one where just about anything goes that doesn't fit into the other saloon and sports classes. The internal structure of Brian Davies' Mini rules him out of the modified production class, so he's first away in the Manx Rover Cooper. Nick Cook's bike engine Silver Striker is next to the line, and he just slips ahead of Davies to take the class lead. Now it's John Tomlinson, into God's hairpin but almost overcooked things with his Rover V8 powered Westfield. He recovers though, slides into the bank but just takes the class lead. Peter Eads, a former Wiscombe Park record holder in his Z-Tech powered Westfield, and looks set to challenge Tomlinson's lead. He does just that and gets ahead by a couple of tenths. Just a week ago, Mike Rudge clinched the Gersten Down Championship in his Westfield Duratec, and he's undoubtedly the man on form in this class. Let's watch his ascent of Longleat. The time to beat, Eads 37.47. Really flying over the brow, he snakes under braking for the hairpin, but it's another great run from Rudge, really working hard at the wheel as he heads for the finish. 36.55, that's the class win by almost a second.